Good morning. How we doing? We're live. We are live. Sell off overnight. How we doing? These lows are looking pretty juicy. Put a poll out talking about bearish, bullish right now. 69% of people bearish. Got 30 something votes. So let's see. Kind of sold off at the open of the daily candle, small wick, consolidation. And now it kind of looks like we're getting a new phase of price down. So I'm personally bearish on the indices. And as always, we're going to talk about our bias, news, POIs, and then our giveaway, right? So that right there, that is the morning plan. But the main thing to watch are these lows right here. Okay. These are the main things to watch. Because we hit these failure swings, had a nice retracement up, swept these highs. Now we're back down below previous day low. So we're at the -4, -4.5. But if NFP, right, we're talking about news today. NFP was released at 8:30. If that's going to be the catalyst to drive price lower today, then we could see a run down to what? These equal lows here, and then new week opening gap. That this weekly candle has no lower wick, right? You could see it run down to here. And that's the high of the new week opening gap I have marked out. So that right there is a pretty strong draw, I think, if we're going to go to the downside. No reason not to hit that. Maybe not today. We could definitely sell off today, right? We've seen big moves, but if we don't hit it today for some reason, and we have a nice, we still have the structure coming in on Monday, then we could target that on Monday, you know? But right now, you have these equal lows here. We close just inside of the range here on the hourly. And we swept this high. We swept consolidation high and we moved lower. Now we're at the lows. So it's looking like bearish price action. Really small wick on the daily candle, which is great for expansion, right? I'll do the same bias as me. Probably because you've been in the streams watching me. Starting to think like me. But if you go look at ES, same thing with ES. Drew up in this imbalance. Down here, these are consolidation lows. We're not at previous day low yet. So there's SMT currently. Previous day low. YM in its own world. We zoom out here to like the 7 hour for daily profile. You can see Asia expands lower. London kind of consolidates. And now we're getting a move here in New York. Same thing. Asia lower. London kind of consolidates inside Asia. Now we're getting a move in London. So that's pretty much it. Daily chart wise, weekly chart. Looks like YM's ready to start running. We've already kind of been running on NQ. Yeah. Like I said, this weekly candle has no wick. There's a gap here, the new week opening gap. Here's the 4 hour. Kind of starting to see that curve. Curvature. This 4 hour high was swept. And now we're back below this up close candle. So you look at this to be protected high in this 4 hour structure. I mean, you got some lows here to target. So we could see a Friday sell-off, just as the title says. It's a market maker buy model. You think this is a market maker buy model? This right here? You do you. Personally, I'm looking for shorts just off the current market. And like, look at the weekly profile too. What have we done this week? Wednesday makes the high of the week. That's a midweek reversal weekly profile to the downside. So that's kind of why I'm leaning bearish. But if you see something different, that's fine. That's the cool thing about trading. We can all be waiting for setups. I could be hopping into a trade as you're getting into one, you know? But that's it for the indices. We look at gold. I was bearish on gold last night. Let it run down. Left these lows right here. Came back up. Swept out this high. Dug into these up close candles here. And then we're seeing a move lower, right? Off that news, the NFP drop. So that's gold for you. Already at this low. I mean, it could come down here as well. That would be previous low a week. We can maybe look for that to finish out the week down here. Judas swing up and then down. What's up, Carson? Did I get a new PC? Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on a new 4K monitor. Smooth. 240 hertz. I don't even think TradingView supports 240 hertz because it looks like the red dot is like lagging behind my mouse. So that's gold. I was also looking at oil shorts, which are starting to play out. What do? We swept this high, the consolidation. After what? Filling into the tick. This weekly opening gap. Right here. Bink. To the tick. Fills it in. And now we're seeing on the daily chart this thing kind of roll. Probably down to this low, or these equal lows maybe. There's a little imbalance in the daily here. It could want to come to. So yeah, plenty of things to short today, it looks like. Obviously, we're going to wait till we open to kind of see what's going on. You do have a nice 4-hour like closure, I guess, but there's wicks on both sides. It's not really a long wick to the upside and there's, you know, kind of a reversal candle. But you do kind of have that 15-minute structure there. So why do most NQ traders also trade gold? Just something else to trade. When indices move slow, gold has a decent liquidity. I don't think it's just NQ traders who trade gold. I think it's everybody. If they trade commodities, you probably look at gold. But yeah, we really need to monitor this low. If we don't reverse off this, I think we just continue dumping. Crypto's cooked. Yeah. Remember, man, we pull it up every day. It's just getting worse and worse. Almost down here to this consolidation low. Swept out all these lows. About to be down below 60K. And then hopefully 50K. Sell model here. Look at that week. Look at that monthly close. That's very bearish. Off this imbalance right here. Monthly candle 2. You're seeing candle 3 expand down. Might even see candle 4 finish it out if it doesn't happen this month. But I mean, it's only the 5th. So you could definitely see this thing continue to drop. Big old down close candle on the month. So when you see the monthly candle to closure, you can get the daily entry. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I mean, the 60K lines up with around the -2, -2.5. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these because I had them drawn on there like originally for this move right here. I thought it was just gonna hit this and drop, but actually it came back up, swept the high, retraced it deeper, and then we got the drop. So not too bad of a move, you know. I would not be trying to buy this like run up, right? You're still in this bearish structure, so you would have needed to see some like, you know, change of state delivery to get long again. These lines off here. There we go. So yeah, I have an alert set for when Bitcoin hits that. I've had this alert here for a minute. I don't know if it tells you how long. Yeah, look, created, look at that right there. Created February 6, 2026. So this alert's been on here for a minute. Ever since we kind of got right around here on this week. Yeah. Bitcoin, ICT says Bitcoin's going to 0. ICT also said he'd delete his YouTube channel if Bitcoin ever hit 100K. And he never did, so. Oh. ICT says this. ICT says that. Yeah, looking for shorts. He also said he coded the algorithm. Like what? But I still use his colors and system. Are they really his though? For value gaps, just another word for a single print. I always got my bottle. There's water in there, I swear. All at the end of the day, all that stuff is just semantics. It doesn't really matter. If the concepts work, they work. Make money, get off. That's all I'm here to do. I don't care who invented what concept. I don't care who came up with what. I'm just here to trade, make money, and get off. It's all just semantics. Stuff that does not matter. Can I see your highlighter settings? It's just this thing right here. Demonstration. And it lights up my. Let's see here. Four-hour. 15 minute doesn't look bad. I mean, it's just kind of wicky around here. Not really many imbalances. I want to see how we open in 10 minutes. Dude, why is it laggy all of a sudden? I'm about over trading view. Watch. Oh, I don't want to relaunch. It's like laggy when I cut the indicator on. Dude, what? Why are we? Why are we lagging right now? It's not my PC. I'm gonna restart TradingView real quick. Yeah. Hold on. Just in case it pops up my. Okay, we're good. I don't know. Sometimes it pops up my entire like live account like information. Yeah, see, it's better now. I don't know what is going on there. Can you also trade on broker directly? If your broker has their own charting software. Like NinjaTrader has their own software, I think. AMP Futures, I think, just uses like they integrate with CQG or whatever. TradingView is just kind of a shit platform when it comes to performance and actually pushing the button, executing. I love the tools, I love the trading, I love the alerts, I love the UI. But dude, it's like it kind of feels like it's built for like amateurs. It looks really good, but the performance really sucks. We're really just looking for like maybe a little retracement open to go lower. Maybe it wants to pop a bit into these up close candles and then we just dump. Or maybe it just goes straight down. It's set up for retail to fail. I don't know. I mean, you don't really see like professionals using TradingView. Like my financial advisor, I don't even know what he uses. I'm gonna ask him actually. So I'm bearish. Yep. We've gone over this, guys. We went over our bias. We went over news, POIs. You got to get here to get the scoop. That's the important part. I tag my watch list red or blue, depending on what if I'm bearish or bullish, right? So you can see here I'm bearish. Stay organized. See, bearish on 9 things. 3, 6, 9. I am bearish in this sell model. Swept some highs, go lower. Swept a high, go lower. Just need to monitor these lows. But right now, it's looking like these equal lows are being the draw, along with this new week opening gap right here. So, yep. That's the plan. Also, our giveaway. We're giving away one of these at the end of the stream. Fractal model indicator. Does all the analysis for me. Look, I have nothing on my chart except 2 lines. This thing does the rest. So, just default settings. I don't change any of the settings. I also have some alerts set up for it. Sierra chart? I've heard of it. Haven't tried it. Right now, just waiting for the open. We got 5 minutes. It's difficult to see what time frame I'm on. It says up here. Oh, it didn't save. It should be this big. Oh, it's because I just restarted. Hold on. It should be bigger. There we go. Now you should be able to see. I changed that yesterday. 1 hour time frame. Is that better? Should be. We changed it yesterday. Big screen problems. I restarted my trading view. The lag's kind of gone. But as for like POIs in general, like I'm just looking for, we had like an expansion in Asia, consolidation in London, swept the high in London here. And now I think we're going to get a New York expansion again. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Or it could be a New York reversal, right? I don't think it will be. I think we're just going to continue lower. Could want to maybe retrace some at open and go lower. But yeah, looking for shorts until there's some convincing price action to go long. Like we were bearish yesterday too, looking for continuation, right? And we swept pre-market lows, New York reversal, and we caught a piece of the move up higher for 10 grand, 2R. So again, we could do the same thing if it wants to reverse off some pre-market lows and go higher again and get a long. But this honestly looks like it wants to sell off. We closed right at the low versus wicking it, you know, and closing inside. Kirk Townsend said, Zach, love these streams. Appreciate it. Yeah, 930 retraces up and it gives us a little swing point to short from. That'll be dope. But notice I haven't even dropped down to like a 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart really. I've just been sitting here doing my analysis on like the higher time frames, like the hourly and up. Because I need to see something on a higher time frame that's gonna allow me or, you know, make me drop lower. Otherwise, you just get caught up in this like, long, you know, lower time frame noise, and then the market is about to open, and you know, lose sight of where you're at. Don't you think a lot of times 930 changes the whole analysis and does its own thing? Yeah, that's why I usually most of the time in this market I've just been waiting. I haven't had many pre-market trades. But if the high timer is really clear and the daily profile is aligned and we're in the direction of like the weekly expansion and all that, and New York is going to be a continuation off of like Asia low or maybe London makes the low of the day and we're already continuing in New York, then I'll just position myself before the open on like a 15-minute entry if it presents itself, and I'll just hold through the open. Otherwise, it's usually waiting till after the open, sometimes even 10 o'clock. Harry says, I see most of your trades happen after 10 a.m. That's been the case most of the time recently. It's going to be fun, though, when the market does, like, work its kinks out and gets back to the way it was. This would be fun to just hop on stream and I'm already in a trade. We did that. We've done that on one trade already, or one stream already. I literally started the stream and I was in a trade. Right at 9 o'clock, I hopped in, right when the stream started. For a new person starting out, would you suggest waiting until 9:30 always? No. If you know what to look for pre-market and it presents itself, you can hop in before. Because price is going to start to run in your favor before 9:30, and you can kind of go break even depending on the price action before 9:30 as it moves in your favor. We're back at 30K, by the way. The market just opened at 30K. Also a big gap to the upside. If you look again, we retraced that entire gap almost. I don't know if we're going to do it again, but we need to watch. You got a 30-minute imbalance right here. Yeah, it's a pretty big gap. Let's watch the open here. Still pending. Previous day low. On ES. The main thing you don't want to be doing is like, for me at least, entering right at 9:30 or right before it with a super tight stop, because the volatility is just, the trade idea might be good, but the volatility might just wick you out and then run in your favor, right? So that's the price you pay if you're going to trade around that time. You might get stopped out more. Not you might, actually, you will get stopped out more. And the trade still be valid. So personally, I like to position myself like before 9:30, like 30 minutes before, maybe even like an hour before, around 8:30, depending on the news. And then I'll just ride 9:30 volatility to my take profit. I mean, if we form SMT here and start to reverse off these lows, we could look for longs with the idea that ES is stronger than NQ. We'll see. Just like Tyler says, we're pushing into that 30-minute imbalance right here. So we'll watch that. It's also like a breaker. You have your high, low, higher high, and we're tapping into this breaker candle here. Right? With an imbalance overlapping it. So or YM kind of just consolidating still. Indicator's only gonna paint SMT like when there's like a valid candle closure, like here, you know. It's not gonna mark out like every single little SMT. Just the ones that kind of matter for the entry model. What we don't want is this. Right? I was seeing YM. Man, I just said consolidation. I mean, YM looks the strongest, obviously. I think YM has some catching up to do. We've been ripping here and here. We just hit all-time highs last week. And we've been well past it on these. So I think this has some catching up to do. I think that's why you're seeing the strength in YM. Also, that's a pretty good daily closure there above the opening price. So, like, you'd want to see this hold and send it higher. Would I take a 3-minute short if we close below the low on NQ? No. Oh, you mean like if we close candle 2 here on a 30-minute? With this imbalance? And just close like that? And then look for candle 3 to trade lower? Yeah. But I'm not going to short right here if we close below, because this candle hasn't closed yet. But it could be one of those like candle 2s that expands, right? We should hit this imbalance and dump. And your stop's going to be like 60-something handles on that. Isn't too bad, I guess, in this market. You can watch it play out. But normally I don't trade the candle 2. I'll just wait for candle 3 and candle 4. There's no gap here on a 15-minute across the board. Just the 30-minute. Wacky gold. Damn, you could get a 15-minute entry on gold. Wait, what's the high here? Technically, if you really wanted to, you could have entered on this closure right here. Here's this high. It's protected. Even though we haven't closed here on the 4-hour, let's be honest. There's 23 minutes left, 30 minutes left in this 4-hour candle. This looks like a candle too that's going to expand, right? So you could have done something like this. I kind of missed that though, looking at indices. We can come back and watch how it played out though. Tons of things to short today. Oil, gold, and indices. But yeah, like personally, I wouldn't be, there's a 30-minute balance we just hit. I wouldn't be shorting this right now. You could if you really were confident, but you're not waiting for the closure. You're kind of trying to trade this candle to reversal candle versus just letting the reversal form, then trading the continuation, the following 30-minute candles. And think about it. It's Friday, right? We're coming off a win. We made 10 grand yesterday to our trade. It's been a little bit of a slower week, a trickier week, you know, with all this. Trying to, you know, we needed to see some real convincing bearish price action for me to want to start shorting at all-time highs, you know. So we're starting to get that now. So now I'm feeling more confident in shorts, but been tricky, been a little bit slower. I'm up on the week. I don't want to force some, you know, trade because you know, shorting right down here at these lows, the low of the week. I kind of want to wait till 10. I want to wait for some confirmation on like a 30-minute closure. I don't want to give anything back. I'm trying to chase it down here. It could very well close below and just keep dumping. But personally, I'm going to wait. There's your closure below it. Why I'm sweeping out lows right now. Next week will be good. We'll see. We're up 2R on the week. Slow and steady, baby. You don't get to choose when you make your money as a trader. You just got to be ready for the opportunity when it presents itself. Do I always require daily C3 to trade? No. The more I've traded this, the more comfortable I've gotten kind of trading invalidations of bias, things like that. But if you want to keep it super mechanical, you can wait for those daily closures. If you're new, I recommend waiting for those daily closures to really get a good read. But look, we're in a candle 4. Candle 2 closure, candle 3. We're in a candle 4 for downside. So technically we are following the bearish bias for the model. But personally, like when I started out, I wasn't trading candle 2s, you know, trading reversal candles. I wasn't trading invalidations of the bias, right? If you're looking for, let's say you were looking for longs, or sorry, shorts off this closure, but we actually can't, like yesterday, we traded the invalidation of our bias. We were looking for shorts, right? It looked like a London reversal profile, and we wanted to see New York continuation. Instead, we got a New York reversal. right? So we traded the invalidation of our bearish bias yesterday. So that's a little bit more advanced, you know, versus just sticking for short biases and not taking and only looking for shorts yesterday. You would have just had to sit through all this and not take a trade, right? Because no short setup presented itself. But instead, I flip bias and traded the invalidation of it. And we made money, right? So that's a little bit more advanced. So if you're newer, I recommend just sticking to your guns, sticking to your bias. If candle twos are such large expansion, how do you trade candle three? The same way. Sometimes a candle two can be a reversal candle. Sometimes it can be an expansion candle. Like this one has a small wick, so it's a expansion candle, right? Same with this one, small wick. That's how you can kind of get a read on an expansion candle. If we open up and all we've done is just make a shallow run and immediately come back in the range, CISD, then you can look that day to trade lower, right? If it hasn't really moved much. It's the days that have super long wicks that use up all their range and there's not going to be a large expansion to the downside, right? Because it's already used up most of its range putting in that wick. We got 15 minutes-ish until... Uh-oh. Why did it do that? Oh my god, dude, I gotta figure out how to fix that. Okay. Get off. Let me fix this real quick. Is that better? Yeah. Perfect. Gold playing out. Off that protected high. What's oil doing? We'll take out the low day. Might get a 15-minute entry on oil. We're about to get low day taken out on ES. Waiting for some kind of pullback for a new protected high on a new 30-minute candle. Just got to be patient. Wait till 10. We'll monitor how it reacts down here at low of day or previous low of day. Looks like it wants these lows. You have a little internal low right here. Could hit this low. Little speed bump to go lower. Kind of lines up with the -2, -2.5 as well. That weekly volume bounce. We call that new week opening gap, which I have marked out right here. See. All right, we've hit low a day on ES. Sorry, previous low a day on ES. So let's see. Can we get a retracement to short on some of these? Looks like we're going to hit this low at least. We could come all the way down to the equal lows and new week opening gap. Plenty of time left in the day. What's the volume looking like on average? Oh, we're at 40%. And it's not even 10 o'clock yet. That's pretty good. Sell off. As the title says, NFP, Friday sell off. This low here on ES. Equal lows here on NQ. We marked out on the chart. Who said we're in a buy model? Give me my 1 rep bench squat deadlift numbers. I can bench 225. I squat 315 for reps. I deadlift 315 for reps. I haven't really maxed on squat or deadlift. About to hit that low. Give me a pullback, please. Otherwise, we're just going to sit here and watch. Yesterday, I was looking for a 1 minute entry on 15. Why not today? Where's the POI that this closure hit? There's no POI. So this high is not protected, right? We didn't dip into an imbalance or sweep out a high, swing high. So there's no entry there for me. Gold. Yeah. Off that. I'm about to hit this low right here. Kind of a choppy sell side of the curve right here. Do I think there's a good case to get into the 930 candle 2? Or I'd rather wait for 10 a.m. candle 3. Like I said, you could have shorted on the closure below here. Right? It's going to mark it out here in a second. See? You could have shorted on the closure below there, right here. You wouldn't have got in on the retest. You would have had the market order in or just have your limit somewhere in here. Stop here. Your 2Rs all the way down here. So you could have. That's like a 100 handle stop. Personally, Yeah, we're hitting an imbalance here, but I'm just going to wait for the closure. Like I said, this could be one of those candle twos that just expand, right, at the open. But I'm just going to wait. It's a Friday. I'm up on the week. It's been a slower week. I don't want to give back anything. We're down here at these equal lows, kind of hanging out, you know. I'm just going to wait till 10. The 30-minute fair value gap, not a POI? Yeah, the 30 minutes a POI for a 3-minute entry, but not a 1-minute entry. There's a 30-minute swing high being put in here in the next 8 minutes that you can now use. You can't use the 30-minute gap for a 15-minute swing. You have to use a 15-minute gap for a 15-minute swing. So I said you can't. You can do whatever you want. That's not how I trade it. There are no absolutes in this game. Just how you want to trade, you know? Please don't make it bigger. Okay. Can we use a 5-minute gap for a 1-minute entry? You can do whatever you want. Are you asking about the way I trade or like what? Like, look, time frame pairings are right here. If I'm going to trade a 1-minute entry, I need to see 15-minute closure at a 15-minute POI. If I'm going to trade a 3-minute entry, I need to see a 30-minute swing point to form at a POI on a 30-minute POI. You look 6'1", 190. I'm like 6'6", 178. All right, we're hitting that low. Can we get a little pullback to get on side and get short? We're also at low a day, so it's kind of lining up. Some liquidity being hit. On both assets here. You're about to get 10 o'clock in the next 5 minutes or so. Oh. 6'6". No, I'm 6 to 6'1". 6 foot 6'1", around there. Depends on what kind of shoes I'm wearing. Barefoot, I'm 6 foot, I think. Maybe 6'1". (6'7". I have a buddy who's 6'7", and all his little cousins are like 6'7", 6'7". The most striking thing I'm trying to learn from you is how clear you are about your rules. I want to get there. Yeah, I mean the rules. I have rules for myself. I have rules. I follow the model. Like, what good is having a system if you don't follow it? Like, what good is having an edge in the market if you're not gonna use it? You know? Yeah, ES hit the new opening gap. The gap's already kind of been hit though. You know, like we hit it here, but it is retesting it. So yeah, I'm more interested in Q getting down there. I mean, it looks like it wants to. At the same time, what's it gonna do? Dig down into these down close candles right here. So, nice little draw. We bought some equal lows. New week opening gap. Hit the opening price. Hidden goofy side. I think today is a short day. No shit. We're down 2%. Just messing, but for real. You don't say. All right, he said he's short now at the bottom. Everyone go long. Up, up, up. I'm with you. I think today's a short day. If I was a Barbie, what Barbie would I be? Probably tennis Barbie. And a tennis skirt. This is the same guy who asked me how big my wang was earlier. On the very first thing he asked in the chat, Magito. Now he's asking me what Barbie I want to be. Ah, we're close, man. This thing just sold off. That's that New York continuation, right? Asia expands, London chops, New York continued to move. The real question is, what are we going to do at 10 o'clock? This is one of the biggest days we've had in a minute, range-wise. So far, we are 600 handles in range. Haven't had a day like that since May 15th. Or maybe even Wednesday, May 20th. But we have plenty of day left. See how like nice this is? This is the kind of structure I love. You know? Versus this, trash. This is super clean. You know, you have swings to target, making higher highs, clear like structure retracements, clear phases of price, you know. But if you get over here where it's super wicky and like just wicking around, not like a lot, really hard to read. That's why this week was tough. When it's clear like this, that's the kind of price action we want to be in. This is kind of tricky though. A lot of back and forth until we started to roll over. Then it was kind of getting obvious. Like, okay. So that's why we got a win yesterday. Looking trying to get a win today. Let's worry about 10 a.m. News? No, 10 a.m. is just when you get a new 4-hour candle. You get a new hourly candle. You get a new 30-minute candle, new 15-minute candle. All right, 10 a.m. Bearish candle 4 alert. Here's your candle 4 on the 4-hour right here. And look for a 15-minute entry. Or 3-minute entry now off this closure. But yeah, this is one of those candle 2s that just expanded pretty hard. That's probably one of the hardest opening moves we've had in a while. Let's look for a 3-minute entry, shall we? We still have relative equal lows down here. It's kind of sketchy shorting right at them, but new week opening gap as well. I'm not going to try and long this currently. How loud is that volume? bought some like IEMs. What these are? Like headphones? Yeah, let's see, I'm put them in. I can like hear myself talk too when I talk in the microphone. Yeah. I look like I'm locked in. I look like Secret Service. Magnets are melting my brain. At least they're not wireless. Okay. Are we frozen here? What are we doing? About to take out this low here. We've tapped it exactly. See ya. Have a good weekend. I'm still hunting my entry. Gold off that 15-minute played out. Took out that low. Could still look for continuation on a 15-minute here. So we'll keep that open. Oil also selling off. Bias correct across the board so far on all these. This low looks sus. Am I right saying your time model is a fraud model? Yeah. That's all I trade. I've also kind of been trying out this new scalping like 10 o'clock model. Which we can actually let's see if we can use it. I've been trying out this new like 10 o'clock opening price like scalping. Not taking trades on it, but really just watching it. Here's the thing, it sucks, right? This 15-minute closure wasn't at a POI, so like you couldn't really short, in my opinion. Even though they played out, I wouldn't feel comfortable shorting any of these moves, right? Like closure below here, stop up here, you know? Your 2 hour be like right here. I just wouldn't feel comfortable shorting away from this because this closure is not at a POI, right? There's no fair value gap being hit. There's no high being swept, swing high. I don't blend. There's a 30-minute one here, so that's why I'm comfortable with a 3-minute entry now. Technically, if we close below this up close candle, we can get in short. It's just really sketchy because it's right at the equal lows, right at -4, you know? But what's the RR on this? Down to like new opening gap. 2R? Do we send it? Do we short? If we get a closer? 10 o'clock, made a little wick. Right here in the hourly. Only problem is my stop's, well, it's not going to close now. There's going to be a 5-minute imbalance right here in the next 5 seconds. My stop, if it closes below right here, is going to be at a 5-minute imbalance high, which is sketch, right? See, there's a 5-minute imbalance now right here. If I short on a 3-minute and let's say it closed below in the next minute here, my stop is going to go where? At a 5-minute imbalance. And it could just like hit this and want to retrace in that imbalance, you know? Just really sketchy. I want to see it hit that 5-minute imbalance first before it closes below. I don't like putting my stop at an imbalance that's untapped. So I probably won't take this 3-minute trade unless it hits that first. We'll watch on a 5-minute. Come on up. Come say hi. Let's peep let's not forget about YM here. YM, you could get a 5-minute entry off this candle 2 closure. Let's not forget about the problem child. Could also get no 30-minute. No 15. Yeah, 5 minutes really the only option on YM here. Again, I'm not going to take a 3-minute being this close to relative equal lows, and I'm not going to put my stop at a 5-minute imbalance high. So it could just want to dump, but what about YM though? Do we have room to fall? Hit this little imbalance. Speed bumped it up to maybe sell off more. I'm not saying it's going to come all the way down here, but we could just shoot for like a 2R. You just have this opening price right here of the daily candle it could dig into. And your stop's going to be here. 2R is like right here. This is looking pretty clean, wouldn't you say? We've hit -2-ish. Can we get -4? Well, watch. I feel more comfortable shorting that than I would. Like we wick that opening price. They might want to come hit this imbalance now on the 5-minute. Thank you. I wouldn't say I'm shorting the, oh my god, it did it again. Bro. This thing is pissed. There we go. I wouldn't say I'm shorting like the weaker asset. I think I would just say I'm shorting the one that's lagging. We're selling off pretty hard. Imbalance hit. You have auto bias 2 on? I have neutral on, so I see both sides. All right. Let's see. I'm going to take off that. Let me mark out a new week opening gap on here so I know. Let's see. I think we can get a short setup continuation. I don't mind that it's retracing a bit. I want to see it retrace some before I hop in. I don't like just shorting as it's dumping, you know? We're not really getting closer down there yet. We just immediately rebalanced this 5-minute range. Here to here, right? Came down, filled in any imbalance that would form. That's kind of nice. A little sweep. Little breaker pattern. Uh-oh. We better reverse. Nah, we're also going to keep in mind we're in a 15-minute imbalance, so. But we have swept consolidation lows. Am I advocate for taking partials or holding full position? I take partials at 2R, and depending on the market conditions and the trade and how much juice is left in the tank for the asset I'm trading, I'll hold runners. But like yesterday, we just took a full 2R and called it a day. It depends on like the time of day I'm entering, the market conditions, the trade in general, whether I'm trading kind of like against my bias, like an invalidation of it, or if I'm trading with it, you know, all those things matter. to answer your question, yes, I take partials at 2R. And then hold the rest, depending on the trade. All right, 5-minute imbalance hit. You also have some S&T right now at these highs. Don't know if I want to take this or not. Didn't get the closure there, so can't take that 3-minute entry. But I feel more comfortable now shorting now that we've tapped into what? This 5-minute imbalance. There's S&T at these 3-minute highs right here. With ES. Right? So let's see. Are we going to get an entry off this swing high to short? It feels a little sketchy doing it. Not going to lie, because we're at the -4. We're so close to these equal lows. I wouldn't mind seeing it come up a little bit higher. Maybe even form a 15-minute imbalance right here. Then that 15-minute come up into that. And then we go short. Like, that would give me some extra confidence. Because I personally don't like, again, putting my stop at an imbalance high. Because we have 1:30 till this 15-minute closes. 1:30 till this 3-minute closes. So if it did close below this opening price right here and I got short my stop here, my stop's going to be at this 15-minute imbalance, you know, that's untapped. Sketchy, right? So again, I wouldn't take that 3-minute short. I need to see now 15-minute come up in there. And then I'd be like, all right, let's short. And that gold trip was pretty nice. Well, it was kind of annoying to trade, if I'm being honest. All right, let's see. 15-minute. Did you take any trades today? I have not taken a trade yet. It's 10:15 in the morning. Appreciate it, Harry. Look, 3-minute imbalance, or sorry, 15-minute imbalance hit now. Tapped into it right at the open. Also a little one here on ES. What do I think about London trading? I don't trade London. Don't really have any thoughts on it. I like New York because you get most of the volatility in New York. Asia and London kind of set the day for New York when there's not global conflict. And we're not dropping bombs across the world. Asia and London are usually slower. You don't really get that many moves. But 10 o'clock since it opened up, what has it done? Just kind of, you know, pushed a little higher. It's not the most, There's not a lot of displacement in this move so far. Whereas here we're just displacing down, forming imbalances, right? We haven't really done that on this. It's been kind of choppy compared to like this. So we'll see though. It could accelerate, start to accelerate, but I'm curious to see how we react off this imbalance right here. And now we have a lot more a better range now we can capture to the equal lows, like 100 something handles, versus if we were shorting back down here, we're only getting like 50. So the more it retraces, the more room we have to capture more points lower. If this is going to be a retracement to go lower. If it reverses, then we'll look for signs. Maybe get a scalp long. But I think this is just, for now, the structure's still bearish. Just being patient. When you confirm it's a reversal, it's gonna have to show me like some, probably start inverting some of these imbalances on like a 15-minute, these higher time frames. So if we just hit this gap and dump, that's showing me that's still pretty weak. But if we start inverting this and come up into this one here, then I'm like, okay. And if we start closing above the 50% of the previous candle, then I start thinking, okay, I might want to come back for these highs up here, right? Because if we're gonna, I use premium and discount a little bit differently. I want to see it stay below 50% and stay weak. If we start coming all the way back up here and close above 50% of the previous candle, then I start thinking, oh shoot, it wants to come for these highs. It's not that weak anymore, right? So that's how I use it. That's why you see it marked out here. And this box is shaded gray because I want to see it stay in this. I want to see a protected swing form in this box that I can use to short away from. I want to see the wick form on this candle and trade the body lower, right? $10 a.m. OTE scalp model? That would require us pretty much coming. I mean, 10 a.m. open is where? Right here. Let's make that yellow and bold, right? You would have to, you would basically be entering like this. Stop like 15 handles and looking for like a high for like a 9-hour trade or something. I'm not saying it's not possible, but if we start retracing, I'd rather just get on side with the retracement lower to target the low. And you have equal lows here right now. So personally, I wouldn't long this. If 10 a.m. opened up and we had like ran through these lows, then came back to 10 a.m. and we had the swing higher in OTE, did something like this where it kind of left this new opening gap intact, ran lower, then came back to 10 a.m. in OTE, then I would look to short there and go lower, right? But I don't really want to long this. Because if it rolls here, it probably just wants to take out the equal lows and hit new opening gap, right? So that model's a little bit more discretionary. So we're hitting this 15-minute imbalance now in ES. We just filled in this one here on NQ. So use a fixed stop loss, like fixed number of points. Nah, I just put it at the invalidation point based on the price action. See, now this is starting to look a little bit more like expansion met with expansion, right? I'm still not convinced though. I don't want to get sucked in the lower time frames. We're still in bearish structure here on a 15-minute, on a 30-minute, on a 4-hour, on an hourly, right? So you don't want to just stare at these lower time frames. I'm not trying to call top or bottoms. I'm just trying to catch the continuation. after the reversal's already formed, right? Just looking to catch the continuation lower. Why put stop on bodies and not tall wicks? You can do either one. But if the body's big and beefy, then I'll just use the body instead to get a little bit better RR. But if you use the bodies, you got to be comfortable with getting stopped out more. We might get a 15-minute entry here on YM. This 5-minute is kind of taking a little too long to close below, but if we get a closure here on YM, below here, the next 8 minutes, you could get something like this. Down to like the negative 2.5. YM still has a lot of room to dump. I mean, we can come back and retrace all this. Maybe even just target 50% of the previous candle, right? Right down here. Just target discount, you know? Discount kind of aligns with 50% of the previous candle. So we might be able to get a 15-minute entry here. And look, starting to put in that wick. Come on down. Just trying to catch the continuation lower, right? This might be one of those 15-minute candle twos that just dump. I mean, we're halfway through it. A pretty long wick. You're about to see this line paint. Boom. There it is. I don't even need the indicator, man. Turn it off. Don't even need it. Again, I like to wait for the closure. There's not really any SMT here anymore, like there was earlier. Cut the indicator off. Don't even need it. Don't want to see it just right. Retrace and go higher. That's why I'm waiting for the closure. But this is looking pretty good off this 15-minute imbalance. If we close in 6 minutes, if we just don't dump and kind of hang out around here and close candle 2, we can get a 1-minute entry down, which I'd like way more for a scalp. You know, so let's watch that. Dang, and look at this. Even though this 15-minute closure wasn't at a POI, what did we hit and get a new phase of price? We hit the -2, -2.5, and retraced off of it. Can we go to -4 down here? SMT is not essential for me taking an entry, unless it's going to be probably a candle 2 that I'm trading. If it's a candle 3 or 4, I don't really care about it. But if I'm going to try and trade candle 2, it's nice to see some SMT at that candle 2 high. It gives me more confluence. Don't know why I ignore your message every day. What message are you asking? Long maybe? Nah. My brother. I'm not long in this. Not yet. Are we going to get a little scalp? YM long maybe? Nah. Maybe YM short on a 15-minute. Here's a question for you guys. Would you rather take the 15-minute YM short on the higher time frame, stop at the bodies, or maybe even the high if you want to be conservative? Would you rather take the 15-minute YM short off the closure, or would you rather, and then hold it, you know, probably longer throughout the day, because this is a 4-hour candle you're trading, or would you rather take the 15-minute, 1-minute scalp to these lows? Let's see, we hit that opening price right here. And we're dumping, right? So this could be one of those candle 2s that just dumps, which is annoying. Wait for me. NQ, scalp, YM. Is NQ still bearish? I'm still bearish on NQ. Don't let me forget. I might hop in this YM short. If this thing just runs without us, doesn't really get, and kind of just expands without us on this candle too, I might just hop in on the YM short. If this leaves us in the dust. Again, if you want to trade candle twos, you can do that. I'm just a little bit more cautious today. Just go like this and press sell. We got 3 minutes until this 15-minute closes. Give me like a candle 2 closure here. A little retracement into this imbalance on a 1 minute that I can short down here. Something like this. Come up in here, close like around here at the new 15-minute candle so I can just get in immediately with my stop up here. That's what I want. $2,300 today. Nice. That'd be nice, because then we'll form a little 15-minute wick if it does happen at the new 15-minute candle up. Let the wick form, trade the body lower. But I'll be honest, I might just enter on YM here in the next minute and a half if we close below, instead of kind of just trying to like wait for all this. Let me just kind of zoom out on YM real quick while we wait. Just double check some things. This looks like Asia consolidation, New York reversal today. And yeah, like, oh, you're shorting all-time highs. It's a sell day. This is looking pretty obvious. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Got a minute. I'm gonna do something like this. You know? If it closes below. If not, we might have to just settle for the NQ scalp. Yeah, that YM. We don't get many higher time frame trades, but this one looks pretty decent. This might be something that we hold all day. I mean, there's a little 15-minute low right here. Ugh, get that off. I can get 13. It's got to close below, though. I'm trying to see. It's like right at it. Oh, it didn't close below, man. That's annoying. All right, let's hop back over to NQ. Is it going to do what I want it to do? Come up, form a new protected swing, little wick, and then we can use that to go lower? You got the look here on ES as well. Let's go hop over to NQ. Little 3-minute imbalance too. Come to daddy. Nice, Tyler. Got your piece. All right, we're hitting the imbalance. Great. Now let's close down below here so I can get in. Something like this. You know? To new opening gap. If we start closing above the 50% here, it might just go for a new high. I want to see this fair value gap push it lower and close below. This has a 30-minute gap. Yeah, but I'm also looking at this wick. Like, this is a pretty long wick. I wouldn't want to see it hit above 50% of this wick right here, which also matches up with pretty much the 50% of the previous candle, right? So are we going to get a short entry, or is this thing just going to be annoying and bust through all over us? It's going to bust all over us. Let's see, we didn't get that closure there, and just retracing now. So I got to wait for the closure. So my stop is going to be at those bodies, right? All right, let's go. At the same time, if we get that closure below, it's going to inverse this gap right here. So that'll be a nice little confluence. Isn't this fun, guys? Everything's dumping. Oh wait. Damn. I thought there was like a 5-minute entry on oil. Guess not. It needs to turn around if we're gonna get the short. It's not fun, then you're in the wrong profession, buddy. Because this don't feel like work to me. Feels like I'm at the casino. Just playing. The most fun you can have with your clothes on. I heard if you trade naked, it actually makes your win rate go up. It needs to respect this 50% here. We're hitting this like rejection block, right? On the 15-minute. I want to see it turn now. If it closes below here, you could put a stop here. That's a pretty tight stop though. The price action we're in. You already kind of closed outside of it here on ES. See how we just wick that opening price here on the 15-minute and retrace higher? That's been the theme. We just wick these opening prices and then back up. Hopefully we're not in the consolidation now. This is not looking good for our short idea. It's looking like it wants this high now. Yeah, it's mechanical, no guessing. Exactly. See, now I'm not interested. I mean, it can maybe want to hit 50% of this wick and then turn, but and this is final imbalance. Like, it's gonna have to do it now. And I'll be honest. That's why I don't like entering off in fair value gaps. Like, if you're just trying to short off this closure on a fair value gap, your shit just got ran through. You know? That's why I like entering off down close candles. To confirm that swing point, you know? But if you're just entering off imbalances, like, you're going to get your shit ran through. FVG is like entering off Bonnie Blue. That's why it's always been, man. Order blocks and change of state delivery over inversions and fair value gaps every day of the week. Inversions just kind of help Fair value gap's just gonna help you read price and like what it's currently doing. But for entry, can't beat the actual candles, right? So yeah, I'm glad we didn't take that 15-minute. No closure below. We're about to come up to these body highs again. Are we going to make another sweep of this high and then roll? Or are we just going to chop down here? Right above these equal lows on the 4 hour here. New week opening gap is right here too. I think we definitely get down there today. It's just a matter of when it wants to present a setup. Damn, we got 68 likes in here. Can we get to 69? Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Got about 280 something people in here too. That's pretty nice. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Zach. We go live here every weekday, 9 a.m. We've been live for the past 2 months every day. If you're new here, subscribe. Turn on notifications. You get notified when I go live in the future. 9 a.m. Eastern time. 69th like. That's worth a Tradeify account. What, does your wallet not work? We'll have some counts to give away next week in the Discord. Also, we have a free community Discord. So if you want to hang out with me outside of these streams with the rest of us, there's a link pinned in the chat. There's a link in the description of this video. You can just go click on that. It's free to join. We do giveaways in there. I hosted a private Q&A for an hour and recorded it for those who couldn't make it. Did that this week. What else? I'm going to upload some educational stuff in there that's like exclusive to the Discord as well. How I set up some of these indicator templates I have up here. Things like that. How I set up my alerts for this. So that's in the pipeline. I don't hang out with you? That's cap. I'm probably the last one to send a message in there. Discord free? Yeah, it's free. We got about 600 something people in there. Started it last month from 0. So it's not like some huge server with like thousands of people. God, that gold 15-minute was nice right here. I'm kind of mad I missed that. Yeah, you're entering a candle too, but like it's pretty obvious this is an expansion candle with like 15 minutes left, 30 minutes left in it. Oh well. We're up on the week. We're up 10 grand from yesterday. Up 2R from yesterday, so yeah, this is starting to look like consolidation now. I mean, the fact that we got that 15-minute closure here off this imbalance, candle 2 closure right here, but we've retraced that whole entire move instead of just small wick and expanding lower. Kind of annoying, right? It's just kind of looking like chop now. $10K is big. That's weird because I heard size doesn't matter. Again, who was pointing out this 30-minute imbalance? Right? Like I said, I wanted to see 50% of this wick hold, but you're not seeing that anymore. So we could tap up into this 30-minute imbalance, which is this swing high here. All right, we can line it up with higher time frame candles and drag it over. That's the swing high. So, but that was paper trading, right? What, my trade yesterday? No, you can go look at the recap I did, live login and everything. I mean, shoot, I'm logged in right now. I can show you. Look. Oh, wait, wrong thing. Amp live, right? We can cut executions and go look at it. Boom. Hopped in here, hopped out here. Should we go look at the other trades I took last week? This is Thursday last week. Hopped in here. That was 11 grand. Where else? Here for a little scalp. This is 8 grand. About 8,300. So, nah. W's only. Get out of here with that paper trading bullshit. But I like to make let's do not studio. Me. I like to make recaps of the trades too. So like yesterday, we posted a breakdown of yesterday's trade. Then the last trade I took Thursday, that was a week ago, 11 grand, then 8,300, right? So I like to do little recaps of like, 12 minutes or less for each trade I take. So if you miss the streams and you want to go back, you can watch me break it down live. What's going on, guys? This is like live. Let me mute this. Live logging and everything, right? Amp live. Obviously, I'm blurring out my account number and total balance, but P&L right there. And if you want to watch me to actually take it live and you miss the stream, you can just come back to this stream here, and I add chapters to each stream. So on the days I took a trade, there'll be a chapter there. You can jump straight to me entering the trade, right? But this is looking kind of boring now. Before you were saying in live, no, that you were just testing some OT entries and all. I don't know what that means. Recaps are great. Awesome. I'm glad you like the recaps. I think what I was originally doing is I was just cutting out the stream. I was taking out like the hour long we were in the trade and just uploading that. But no one's going to sit there and watch an hour long video. Like people got TikTok brain these days. So now I think it's better I can just do a top down approach from after the fact. Show them executions, go back in replay mode, show what I'm seeing in real time or in replay mode as the indicator paints it out as well. And then at the very end, I go back with all the drawings on the chart and just cut up my executions. That's pretty much how I do it now. Sometimes I'll upload. I mean, there's some losing trades on there I've taken. What I was seeing where I messed up or just the model failing, right? You're not going to win every trade. But there's some break-even trades on there where I go break-even too soon or kind of talk about why I moved aggressively with the stop. So you can learn a lot from the losing trades and the break-even trades, if not more than the winning trades, right? Is there a schedule for my Discord? It's free. The schedule, what do you mean schedule? Like for when I stream? I'm on YouTube Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. That's the schedule. And that's in the Discord. It's just in the first channel, info and rules. But if there's any schedule changes, I usually tweet them out, or I'll say it on stream the day before, or I will post in the Discord as well. But man, what are we doing right now? I don't know if I like this 15-minute short anymore on YM. Five-minute. Still hitting this imbalance. Yeah, it's just looking like consolidation, which kind of sucks, right? Because it could just break out below, and that's going to hit our target, you know? But if it sweeps the highs, and then we can roll back over, that's what we want, right? We want to see consolidation high swept to manipulate that side of the range, and we can target the opposing side, which happens to be that engineered liquidity, right? The relative equal lows. So if we can maybe, you know, come back up here, sweep out some highs, then roll, that would be preferred. You learn from ICT? I learned from tons of people. I watched ICT's videos. I haven't watched an ICT video in like years. I don't even know if he still makes videos anymore. But I learned from ICT. Basically what I've done over the years, I've been trading since 2020, is find people that I resonate with online, whether it was Instagram, Twitter, whatever. It was mostly Twitter for me. And find stuff about their strategy that I liked. And they're all pretty much trading smart money concepts, right? Find things that you like about someone's strategy that resonate with you. Take that little gold nugget and put it in your own. Test it, see if it goes well with what you're already doing, and then refine it over time, right? And go from there. That's pretty much what I've done to how I've gotten to where I'm at today. So I don't learn from just one person, right? I was trading options profitably before I switched to futures. And I was trading EMAs, support and resistance. Like, at the end of the day, it's just an edge, right? It's just a game of probabilities. What happened, man? What happened to the market? Where is the volume? Volume is dying. You resonate with me, Kirk? Appreciate it, man. You wasted so many years trading Forex. I've actually never traded Forex. I've probably placed like 2 trades on Forex in my life. And they weren't even the actual Forex they were these Forex contracts, like futures contracts. I like commodities better. Like gold, oil, and then indices. This is pretty much all I trade right here. From most important, like the top, to like the least important that I care about at the bottom. Silver and gold just go together. I can't even really trade silver because the margins are so high right now. Let's see if they change that. Did they change the margins? Look at that, dude. You have to have $41,000 in your account to hold 1 silver contract. Shit is absurd. Gold 6K. I can't even trade silver, honestly. NQ's only 1,000 intraday, right? And then 15 minutes before the close, they want you to have like 40K in there. Basically just kind of forcing you to exit your position and just re-enter if you're going to hold overnight for the next daily open. But what's up, D Howie? D Howie's our only server booster in the Discord. The rest of y'all are slacking. New phase of price after this expansion. Just consolidation. But out of consolidation, what do you get? You get expansion, right? So we just got to be patient and wait. I'm probably not going to wait too much longer. It's already 10:50. Maybe 11 o'clock. This new hourly candle. This is consolidation high. Maybe 11 o'clock wants to hit that and balance. Take out consolidation high and then roll. Who knows, right? We'll watch the 11 o'clock open to see. But that's pretty much like the line in the sand for me. for shorts and looking for a setup. Is that 11 o'clock open? You sign up on Discord just for me? Let's go. I use AMD. What, like the processor? Nah, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, like Power 3? Yeah. What's for lunch? Some deadlifts. And then probably some eggs and chicken sausage and some like fruit. I got a haircut at 2. I haven't eaten anything all day. I only eat, here's my routine. I wake up at 7. Should we do a routine breakdown? 7 a.m. Wake up. And then 8 a.m. sit at charts, right? And then I start looking for setups depending on the news, around 8, 8:30, 9, right? And I trade from like, let's just say, I don't know, 8:30, trade. And then I'll probably, let's say 8:30 to like 11-ish. That doesn't look right. Right? And then gym, Monday, Wednesday, Friday from like 11:30 because I got to drive there to like, wait, 11:30. Gym. And then that's pretty much my morning. Then I come back and eat lunch, right? Around like, I'll just write it. Like probably 1 p.m. lunch. And then I'm done for the day. I work on other things. I don't trade the afternoons, so that's pretty much my schedule every day. And if I don't go to the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll go for like a walk or a run or just sit by the pool, work on other things, whatever. But I don't eat until, I only eat 2 meals a day, lunch and then dinner later on. So that's like that's the life of a full-time trader right there. And I also obviously give myself more work because I'm sitting here making content for you guys, answering questions in the Discord, making trade. Like yesterday, I made a trade recap and uploaded it at like 2 in the afternoon. So go back, add chapters of the streams, talk with my editor guy who clips up the streams. That's just like some extra work. But if I wasn't making content and I was just solely trading, then I'd be done by 1 p.m. usually after lunch. And then you're just chilling out unless you're trading the PM session. That's why it's important to get wins. Here's the thing. Like from the trade yesterday, you saw me show my trades executions, right? This is the first trade I took. Okay. That was the first trade I took in a week. The last winner was when? Let's go back. That was Thursday. This is Thursday last week. So I hadn't taken a trade in a week. 7 days. You'd be like, how can you do that? Right? It's because I'm getting wins outside of the market. Right? I'm going to the gym. That's a win. I'm sticking to my routine. That's a win. Right? I'm getting wins outside the market. I got other stuff going on. I washed my car yesterday. Like, that's a win, Had fun driving it. But getting wins outside the market makes it easier to not sit here and, want to push the button so you feel like a winner in the market. That makes sense? And that's one of the problems that people don't realize when they go full-time trading. You have all this time on your hands now. You're like, oh, I might as well trade. But more trades doesn't mean more money. It just means more opportunities to make mistakes. More risk, So that's how I'm able to kind of sit here for a week, not take a trade, and then all of a sudden My setup presents itself, boom, no hesitation, I hit it, right? Size decent on it, and I just made 10 grand, you know? I did that from sitting here in my apartment, pushing a few buttons, right? But yeah, we show up every day like it's our job. Treat it like a job. But some days you're not going to do anything. Most days you're not going to do anything. At least for me. That's how it's been recently. Some weeks we get a trade every day. Some weeks we don't get a trade. You don't get to choose. So that's why it's important, like, if you're here to like feel like a winner, you need to make progress in your life in other areas outside of the market, you know? Clip that. This is looking like buns. We got 3 minutes until 11 a.m. Lick it and clip it. What you guys got going on the rest of the day, though? Rest of the weekend. There's a music festival in my city that a bunch of my friends are going to, called High Tide. How do I set up my chart to trade gold? Can I do it just like currencies? I don't know what you mean. I just click on gold and it's there. Set up your chart. What are you trying to set up? We're so close to finishing this out. 11 a.m. Please save us. Donald Trump, please save us. Have you guys seen that clip? Like, he gets pulled over by the cops. He's like, Donald Trump, please save me. Donald Trump. Well, I'm not going. I'm not going to the music festival. That's why I didn't say it myself, my friends and I. You know what's crazy, dude? All right, this is some bullshit. This music festival, first off, we're not even like in a major city. Like, I'm in like a coastal town in South Carolina, right? This music festival, charging like 13 grand for a table, like a VIP table, right? And usually when you buy a table like that, because I bought some tables before, right? Just have some fun. When you spend money like that, the alcohol is included. Like, the minimum is included in the table. So you buy a $5,000 like table at like a club or whatever, that's your minimum for alcohol. And they give you the table like to enjoy it, right? With your friends. Not this fucking place. Not this festival. You spend 13 grand for you and your friends to get the table, and then they tax on another like 5 grand for alcohol. It's like, what? That's some bullshit. And that's why I was like, I'm not doing that. Just because of the principle. And bro, we're in South Carolina, dude. At some like B level music festival. This isn't Coachella. This is High Tide. It's for you get it for 2 days, I think. And don't get me wrong, it's shaded. Like, it probably is nice, but it ain't worth that price. All right, it's 11 o'clock. We'll do the giveaway here soon. South Carolina's ass. Hey, you don't say that. I'm from here. Can we take the high out? Ever drive down to Miami? I don't drive, but I fly. I've been to Miami once. I want to go back. We're looking for this. It needs to pretty much happen here soon. Otherwise, I'm hopping off. Right? Something like this. I don't know. That's what we want. But we're just chopping now. And that could be a sign. If we don't get this and we just kind of hit the low, then I'll probably just hop off. How much did the GT4 RS cost me? Some money, you know. It cost me a couple shekels. We're kind of just consolidating right here. Nah, I spent 6 figures on it. I mean, you can go look up the prices of like, newer 2025 GT4 RSs. I think MSRP was like 197. Then I paid 30K over. So like 237 all in. To get you with those markups, dude. But it was my first Porsche. I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee like 2012 beater before that. But the cool thing about the car I got, they're not making them anymore. So hopefully I'll get paid to drive that car. So I don't look at it as like how much it costs me to buy. It's all about how much I get out of it when I go to sell it, you know? That's how much it actually costs. Again, like the 13K table, people still talking about that. That's like for you and a bunch of people. It's not just like you and one person. So you can split it, right? It's looking like we're just going to come down to the lows. Your 10 a.m. opens right here. 2 hour secured. Nice. See you next week. What is everything else doing? Still chopping? Gold put in an hourly candle. 2. You might see a retracement on gold. You're still kind of fading this. And there's also an imbalance right at that high. It could just hit and go lower or just kind of chop around. New phase of price, right? I'm kind of just really not interested in any of this anymore. While it kind of sits here, let's do the giveaway, huh? Giveaway? Wait, what was it? What should be the keyword? The keyword is let me think. I like VIP. VIP. Look, you guys already typed it in the chat before. You're in already. Keyword is VIP, and I keep forgetting to end this poll. We're giving away one of these indicators. Giving away one of these right here. So if you'd like to enter to win, type the word VIP in the chat, and your name will pop up here. The nice thing about these streams, there's a couple hundred people in here. So your odds of winning are way higher than watching some of these bigger streamers, right? And if you don't win this on stream, we have a giveaway running till noon today. It ends at noon. You can still enter it. We're giving away 2 of these this week. So if you don't win this on stream, we're giving away 2 of these bad boys in the Discord. So yeah, you just gotta type VIP once and your name will pop up in here. And we'll end that here in the next couple minutes. Kind of let everyone Hop in. This is looking like it wants to kind of just continue this sell-off. Kind of annoying. If we had gotten like if this was a 15-minute, if there's a POI here, we could have maybe captured some of this, you know. If we kind of just hung out for a bit, it didn't fall so hard immediately off the open. Probably could have caught some of it. I just wasn't comfortable shorting on the 1 minute when this 15-minute high right here. There's no POI being hit on a 15-minute, you know. So otherwise, I would have been like, oh, damn, this is definitely an expansion candle lower. Like, let me just hop in. Because it was aligned with what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a drop towards these equal lows and new week opening gap, right? New phase of price, expansion, consolidation, expansion. So everything's aligned, and it just didn't really give me a clear entry. Sorry, not entry. A clear swing point that I felt comfortable shorting away from. Let's run it. Who won? No one won yet. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Got 69 people in here. Solis Blake, you are the winner. DM me on Discord. All right. DM me on Discord. You guys are coming in late, bro. We ran it already. DM me Discord. Send me a screenshot of you logged into this account, and I'll get you your code for 100% off for a month of this indicator. And if you're not already in the Discord, join that. It's free. Hang out with us outside of these streams. The giveaway for 2 of these expires at noon today. So in literally an hour from now, we're going to choose 2 winners for this that giveaway in the Discord. So, all right, well, we're up on the week. Up 10 grand on the week. This is kind of a slower week for me, but hope you guys enjoy the stream. If you're new here, like I said, welcome. We go live at 9 a.m. every day. And if you're not new here, make sure you hit that like button. Helps me out in the world of YouTube, algorithms, and whatnot. So appreciate you guys for coming in. Catch you on Monday.